Next on the Reaction Review. Greetings fellow Sibber and welcome to the Reaction Review. I'm Gripper Sib and today we're looking at Carenado's PA31T Cheyenne II and some crazy madness of course. So if you're new to the channel and looking to get into this relaxing hobby and find this interesting, why not subscribe and hit that bell for notifications on new content every week, but only if you're interested. I mean, if you're not interested, what's the point? But maybe if I found a way to make it more interesting. Oh, speaking of interesting, Ed Z said, thanks again for the great tip, Gripper Sim. I have a touch and go challenge if you're interested. 8 touches in 5 minutes in either St. Barts or Luke airports. I presume that's circuits. But that's coming up later, so for some crazy madness. But let's get back to our Carenado's PA31T Cheyenne II and let's have a quick look at it. It's just been out this June 2019. This aircraft cruises at 283 knots, that's 356 miles an hour. Gripper Sim, eye candy, go! This is version 1, of course, of the Carenado Cheyenne II. It has high-end 4K PBR, that's physically based rendering graphics throughout. It has a custom KFC 300 autopilot with a detachable pop-up window. It has rain effect, we're going to have a look at that as well. Various sound design effects implementation, including atmospheric distance effects, realistic prop effects, etc. Extensive VR support throughout with snap points in every passenger seat. All knobs, dials, buttons, handles, etc. also optimized for VR usage. It also has library and support, which includes visual ice effects on the windows. Very, very easy to install that add-on, the library, and they have a link in their website. Let's have a look inside now and have a look at the interior of the cabin itself. I'm starting to really love these interiors because it really gives a sense of immersion that you're in a real airplane. I do like the way when you sit down you can actually open up the tables, you can turn on the lights. You can't draw the curtains, unfortunately. Well, if you can, I didn't find it. But I do like the interiors. They are very atmospheric. Of course, I can't open the ashtray, but I can open the tabletop. Yay! Now, you can see the leather of the seats. It looks very clear, looks very realistic. No complaints from me here at all. But I do like interiors now. I used to think they were just nonsense, but if you didn't have it, it would just look silly. Moreover, if you didn't have the interior, when you look behind you, when you've got a VR headset on, you'll be able to see everything right behind you. So here we are at the cockpit end of the aircraft and you can see the fuel system there at the step up to the seats. So we're just closing the door. We're going to take off and I'm thinking of doing that challenge that Ed Z has given me. Now into the cockpit. I do like the cockpit. I can't wait to put the VR headset on. That's coming up and I'll give you my distinct opinions. I do like this cockpit. I don't know why. It just seems very loaded. The switch in the overhead panel, or all the switches in the overhead panel, they're lit up, some of them, and yeah, I can't quite put my finger on it, but I think it's just very well detailed, to be honest with you. Now the circuit breakers don't work, big deal. It doesn't really bother me so much. It might bother you, but the rest of the cockpit is really very impressive. The yoke there, my Yoko, the yoke matches up perfectly with the yoke in the sim. So do the throttles, etc. So it is very detailed, and I do like the reflections on the glass. Of course, you can switch them off on those little side. They do have a little side menu there on the left of the screen. I've removed it for editing purposes just for now. The pedals animate quite well, even the brakes, the toe brakes, the trim wheels, the throttle props and the mixture animate the gear sound. Listen to the gear sound. That's the one. And yeah, all the noises and sounds work quite well, so I'm quite pleased with it. But what does it look like at night time? Absolutely brilliant. Those overhead lights you can see, you can switch them on and off, change the direction, and it changes the lighting in the cabin. That flashing light you can see is the strobe on the right wing, and it looks absolutely fantastic. I really do like it at night time. You can adjust all the lighting as you please, the dimness of the overhead panels and the lower panels, etc, etc. Night time looks great. Maybe that's why I like the cockpit so much. Oh, the rain. Rain effects are brilliant. I'll just pause so you can hear it. Some wipers perhaps. Well, that's my decision. I'm going to make the challenge in St. Barts where the weather is absolutely perfect. I got a face cam. So, this is new for the channel. Let me know if the sounds are off or you don't like the sound or anything like that. I thought I'd try this, just preparing for other videos. I think I'll use this for my little challenge in St. Barts. So we're going to fly to St. Barts. Okay, you're not going to see it all, obviously, but this aircraft has a range of 2,740 kilometers. So you probably might stop once, you know, for fuel, but you get there. So okay, let's just open the window here. Let's start her up very quickly. Make sure the park and brake is on. Is the park and brake on? Park and brake is on. Okay, now let us start the... Let's put our battery on first. Always with this aircraft is battery, isn't it? Battery powers the engine. Now, that master warning complains that there's no fluid going to the engine. There's no generator. That's because the engines aren't started yet. So, very quickly, without any checklists or any of that nonsense, we can do that later in the tutorial if people want it. We'll leave the fuel pumps on there. Let's turn on some lights here just for a bit of an effect there. And let's go for the left engine. So, fuel pump, we leave it on. Ignition, we put it on. Listen to this. Can you hear that? That is the, you can hear the clicking sound, that's the actual igniter in the turboprop. Right, let's start her up. Left engine. Yeah. I like the way the prop slowly turns. It pleases me. Now, I like the sound. Listen to this. If you've got stereo speakers or surround sound, I can hear, when I look around, I can hear the engine now going to one ear and then the other. Now, I know when I say to you, this is my right and this is my left, that's because the camera is reversed. Okay, so that's because the camera is reversed, the webcam. So that's the left engine started. Happy days. Let's switch off the igniter and let's start with the right engine. Go. Just giving out that the generators aren't on yet. Okay, so we're started. Happy days. Everything's in green. And happy days. Let's close this window here. Listen to the sound change again. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice sound. Okay, so flaps. There's the flaps there, okay? Hopefully I can do some editing magic so you can see where they are. Transponder should be on standby. But let's not worry about all that stuff just yet, okay? Let's not go all procedural just for today, because we're just looking at this aircraft. Now, these two lights over here are giving out, guess what? Generators aren't on, so the batteries aren't being charged, okay? So let's come back. And what I'd like about this aircraft is you can see the starter motor here, so you can put it on generator, just flick it up. So now all the lights are off. Okay, let's taxi. Let's fly like we stole it. Brakes off. Let's flip our props forward. Very gently. Marching in forward. Oh, okay. Fast. Now, in this is Statenford, in Essex, in England, scenery.
and there's not a lot of gap between the left and the right. Now I know you're saying, it's the long way around, but as you see the camera, this is my right, this is my left, but you're seeing it reversed. Very complicated. So it's taxiing well. I was worried earlier on when I first started playing around with this aircraft that I couldn't get the taxiing working. I don't know what it was. It's working now. So let's just usually come to our stop here. Oh, we won't. Okay, so we're going to put on the strobes. We're going to put on the transponder and get our flaps down 10 degrees. Let's make sure I have first stage of flaps, and get that mouse out of the way. And let's just gently turn here. Let's just take off here. Get you some eye candy, and I wanted you to see the sound after takeoff on a flyby. So yeah, happy with the taxiing and the braking and everything. It's all nicely done. I'm very, very happy with that. So we've got flaps, everything's fine in the green, and let's just, as I said, fly like we stole it. Full props, full forward, mixtures full forward, and full power. Have a look at this. I have the Pimax VR. I just got it earlier on this week. I'm not doing any reviews on it yet because it's just quite hard to record and run X-Plane at the moment at the same time. But I can tell you that the Carenado Cheyenne runs very, very well in VR. I have no problems at all. I can see everything even close up. Now, it goes a little bit jittery because the base stations have to be placed properly, and it just dies when I'm recording. But the aircraft looks really, really good. I can even look behind me. I'm moving slowly so it doesn't shutter for you so much, so you can see behind there, hopefully. And I'm very, very pleased with it. So I also have a link in the description where you can use a code which I put in the description below, and you get $50 off your Pimax. So it's $50 off your Pimax in the description below, which will save you some money if you're thinking of getting it. But at the moment, the way things stand with me, I'm glad I bought it. Like if they gave me double my money back, but I could never have a Pimax after that, I'd still keep it. I wouldn't get rid of it. So it's all very good. Now, I have to say, X-Plane is hard on your computer anyway, but with the Pimax as well as the recording software, it's going to be really, really tough. But I'll tell you my frames per second before I go. 42, 43 frames per second. That's what I'm getting, and that's pretty damn good. I mean, it's buttery smooth to me, if I get the bloody mouse out of the way. Butterly smooth. What I can't wait to get, though, is hand tracking. You can get, later on, you can get a tracker here, you can have your hand, so you can touch all the buttons and all the switches and all that kind of stuff. I'm really looking forward to that. But the other thing that I think people are worried about in VR is getting motion sickness. You're not going to get motion sick with this. And also, how do I operate my controls, you know? But I have my control column down here. I can put my hands on it. It's exactly placed where the actual Carenado aircraft is, and it works. It's perfectly in sync. I can just put my hands on the powers of the throttles, the props. I know where the flaps are. There's the flaps. And it's just memory. It's just muscle memory. That's all that is. So I can't say enough about it. It's really, really good. More Pimax videos coming up. Let's get this guy Cheyenne, I can't pronounce it, into St. Barts and do that challenge. Oh man. Okay, here we are in St. Barts on final, and the weather, of course, is horrific. It's just absolutely horrific. So, would you stop at your beeping, would you? Yeah, that's enough of you. So I really got to slow down here. So I've got to do 8 touch and goes in 5 minutes. Now, that's going to be impossible, first off, okay, in this aircraft. But I have a timer. The minute I touch down, on the first one's going to count, okay, and then I'm going to count up from there, just to give myself a little bit of a chance. But I'm going to do as many as I can. Just get this speed sorted out. See, when you're in this phase of flight, when it's all messy, you can't be talking like this. This is going to make it twice as difficult for me, because not only have I got to fly it, I've got to talk you through everything, which is tricky enough. And it's going to be nuts. I'm going to be flying like a lunatic. You'd never fly like this in real life, ever. You die, okay? Very simple. You just die. So I'll get my stopwatch ready. I shouldn't be looking away from the cockpit. I want about 100 odd knots, okay? Just 105 maybe. Let's get all the rest of the flaps down, if there's any left to go. And I'm going to kind of be quiet at this phase of flight, I think. I'm going to add a bit of power just before I touch down. I'll tell you why now in a minute. Adding power. That was a hard one, but I'll take it. Flaps up to 10. Stopwatch started. Now, I'm going to have to fly this very, very aggressively. Now, one thing I notice about this while I'm trying to do this is when I add power, it takes ages for the turbines to kick in. So when I add power, I don't get it immediately. It seems to be forever. So that's quite realistic for a turbine. It's like a jet, isn't it? So it does take quite a while for the speed to kick in. So I think when I'm coming into touchdown, if I'm to do all these, if I'm to do a touchdown, I'm going to have to add power before I touch down, because it takes so long for the engines to spool up. Where am I? There we go. Side slipping, flaps down. You should never side slip with your flaps down, but this is a simulator. Oh man, stop. I'm going to stop talking there for a minute. Get down. Okay, we're good. Now, I know that was nuts, but he said touch and go, and I touched, and I went. So that counts. Now, I don't know if the landing gear would have collapsed from that one. No, I think it would. Let's see how we go. I think we should do some, turn on the wipers here. Let's get some wiperage going. Wiperage. Where's the window wipers? Looking away like that for a split second in this kind of flying is just crazy madness. Let's turn around. Let's bleed that power off. Oh, I'm going way too fast, and my turning circle is absolutely massive. And I'm going to crash into the hill. Would you slow down, you pain in the ass. I've gone right past the centre line, and this is going to screw me up entirely. I'm doing loads of side slipping here now, just to bleed off that speed. Oh, that's not good. Straighten up. I just need to touch down. I just need to touch it down on the runway. Okay, I'll take it. Very slow. Losing speed. Am I going to make it? Okay, let's do the turn. Flaps are up, leaving the gear down. I've lost count now of how many I've done. I'm just going to keep going. That's 2 minutes 30 seconds roughly by my timer. But I will start the timer. Well, you can see it because I'm already edited it. But obviously I have to do this kind of in one big shot. Otherwise you think I'm cheating. And I tell you what. Can you do 8 touch and goes in 5 minutes in the Carenado PA31? Give it a try. Oh, concentrating. Okay, I'm not happy with the speed on this one. Get all the flaps down. I'm going to leave a bit of power on for the touch and go. Get on the runway. No, it has to be on the runway. And the rear. Okay, I'm going to take that. I'm taking that. Flaps up on stage. Power's going up. See how long it takes for the engines to spool? It takes forever. So I've lost count now. 3 minutes 30 seconds roughly. I do like this aircraft. I do like the sound. I love the raid effect. I do love the cockpit. It's just old school, isn't it? It's just old school. Now let's start the next one. Oh, the thunder. The thunder. Okay, I need to fly more aggressively here now with this. Oh, here we go. It's a bit of a stall water there. I'm side slipping with flaps, which is mortally dangerous. But this is Flight Simulator today, so get this touchdown. I keep doing this. That was a real hard one. I'm surprised that didn't crash on me. What time are we now? 4 minutes 35. I think I get one more in. Let's get a full stop in. That's the best I can do. That is the best I can do. I haven't crashed yet. Come on. This one I have to stop, don't I? So let's get all those flaps down. Oh, it's wet as well. So it's going to be hard to stop it. This I can stop at this one, so... Oh, Jesus, I've run out of time. Anyway, that's all... That is... I'm out of time.
And so, I had failed. But it's impossible to do 8 circuits in 5 minutes in this airfield, in this aircraft.
Always with you, it cannot be done.
But Yoda, this is ridiculous, and it's impossible.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
Well, I don't know if anyone else is up for the challenge, but at least I didn't crash the aircraft once in the making of this video.
Don't bullshit me. I want to ask you a bunch of questions. I want to have them answered immediately.
Okay, I lied.
Okay, I have to try again. I've lost an engine. I've hit the right prop on the runway. Just go down, just touch it. There we go. Good. Oh, whoa. Am I alive? Oh my god. Oh, Jesus Christ. Where's the runway? There it is. Oh yeah, there we go. We're gone. We're gone. That's what happens when you go below blue line speed in an engine failure. Go on, Desi. Hitch down. There you go. Flaps coming up. Hold it level. Still got to stall. Otherwise... Oh no! Don't do this to me! It's too late! It's too late! Just don't stall and go into the water! Oh my god. That is... Fuck! Adding power. And up we go. Oh, I missed it! Shit! I fucking crashed. Fuck! I can't pronounce it, into St. Barts and do that challenge. Oh man. Cut! Oh man, I could stay up here all day long. This is just... Look at all the lights down below.